We continue with the questions. Τώρα έρχονται αυτά που σας λέω. From now, the most common questions between the vets or inactive players that are waiting for is that this is a question from Windmill, yes. And from Mormo, Rats in the Hats. I'm from Windmill, a European server. We are currently inactive, unlike many others, due to a multitude of reasons. For me, the main reason is that I have nothing to do. Like I said, I have all the prowess I would ever need, and all the gold and all the resources I would ever need. Thank you for your time. As someone with 300k, 300 prowess and a bank full of everything I could ever want, there is nothing else left for me to do. How do you going to change this? Mormo from Rats is asking. About free trial and trial version, we told that. He's asking about what if are there some plans for more content for veterans? The same question. And he's asking, do we will see in a near future an overhaul of villages, more customization for housing, useful crafting station, free placement
of buildings,
housing, yeah. Vendors, I would add prowess vendors, more benefits like buffs from living in a village. And I would ask if there are any solutions for the full bank issues.
Yes.
Yes, that is what we're discussing so far.
Yeah, basically the whole
enchanting.
Not just enchanting.
Software enchanting.
It's crafting in general and recipes in general and items in general. Right. This stuff, we're going to take a lot of stuff that's currently not craftable and make it craftable. That's going to add some sinks, we think, at least for the time. We're also exploring the avenue of free placement and houses in general, but in between we are thinking about yeah, we want free placement, but you have to consider as well as other guys that want free placement.
We won't do that.
A lot of the systems in place never took that into account. So touching free placement in houses, creating your own villages, your own holdings, your own castles and so on, is not just about creating Lego modules, the building blocks for the actual houses and a system to connect them and so on. It has to do a lot with the terrain, the siege mechanics, the roads, for instance, the protections of various holdings. It affects a multitude of existing systems, so that's why it's tricky.
All right.
Both design-wise and implementation-wise, we do want to do it, but we want to do it when everything else is ready to take it in, right?
So you didn't start housing?
No, we've had some development talk about ways of the actual implementation, but not the whole design around replacement and how that would affect all the other systems. So not ready about that yet.
And what about vets and
vets and things to do?
Yeah, I think there must be maybe something else to do except sieging. a new level of I don't know, and content or something?
First off, politics right now in Darkfall are completely player-driven, but also completely player-made. There are no checks in place, there are no contracts you can sign, there are no ways of implementing diplomacy, politics, and so on with actual mechanics. We want to add that, we want to make alliances with rules and benefits for both. If you break the alliance, you instantly have consequences and so on. We want to add that meta, and we want to tie it to the Dominion.
This will have to do with Dominion,
Yes.
the alliance with Dominion points, a connection.
No, the alliances are tied to the territorial control, which is tied to the domain, will be tied.
I mean, people have spoken in the past about a vassal system for smaller clans. That too could go into a specific politics diplomacy meta that utilizes the fact that dominions, holdings now generate dominion.
So, what, in other words, what do you think the next, let's say, 3 months you will add to make?
The next 3 months are going to be enchanting,
To
skills,
add to make
new
vets
players.
return.
Well,
Enchanting.
Don't forget about the PvP leaderboards as well.
Yeah,
That's for me, because I'm a PvP guy, that's a great incentive in order to
That's an
gain
objective
recognition
too, yeah.
and brag about that I'm the best
Alright.
here. Okay, have a look at it. The way the mechanics is gonna work is gonna be renewed like every week. You're gonna have an update of your status. You're gonna see your past achievement, how many you kills, how high you are, how ranked are you. Even if you are rank 1 or rank 10, you will be able to see that. In a period of, let's say, 6 months for now, theoretically that's how the first season is gonna last. You will be able to collect points. If you come up to the top something percent of the server, you will be able to get a unique fluff item or something, a reward.
Okay.
We've not come up to the final reward yet, but it could be a unique fluff armor like the champion armor, so everyone can use it.
Voilà.
That's an incentive by itself. It's a PvP incentive to me.
Right.
So that's
Yes.
something to do for a veteran guy.
Yes, but people need more
Of course.
such objectives and
Yeah,
things to do.
The idea is to slowly replace every mechanic that wondrously dropped you loot, gave you rewards, with something that you would actually have to invest in, time, money, resources, people, right? Your clan, yourself, whatever, in order to build the link to a whole chain of supply and demand and logistics in Aegon in order to keep the world moving.
All right.
We need to tie that into upkeep. We want to add more resources that are sea-based. We want to add more resources, for instance, metals, not just iron.
So what will happen with the old resources, the ingots, the wood, the cotton?
They are still going to be used. They are still going to be useful, but slowly they will be
Obsolete.
They will start to drain.
So they won't be used for the later on recipes.
Well, probably not.
All right.
Probably not. It's a way to. No, there's no need. I posted that again in the teleportation thread. There's no need for speculation about the actual recipes and what the materials are going to be like. I mean, there's no real reason for people to start selling property or deeds or whatever until they actually see how things work out in game.
All right.
So basically, apart from adding more meta, vets can try the new gear when it comes out.
Okay.
Because along with the gear, there are going to be changes to how materials are distributed, and that's going to bring them more fights.
Actually, they are not going to be vets. They don't play.
Yeah, in the economic sense.
In the economic sense.
Yeah.
they have to play again to become vets.
Yeah.
So are you going to introduce in game some daily activity things like one is quests, for example?
This is a whole other.
It's not a daily.
This is a whole other discussion
Yeah.
about the players that want to come in and enjoy stuff. We haven't actually talked about that, and I think we're going to do a discussion about this in 1 or 2 months when we have these ideas that we discussed before about the economy and stuff. Because as you said in the beginning, everything is in a chain, and if we don't fix the previous links in the chain, then we cannot fix the other links as well.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's, first we need to tighten things up. And
Yeah. Once we have a stable economy and the people are actually out there trying to gear up and farm and all that stuff, then we can introduce a lot of daily activities for the casual players, because everything is tied up.
The most widely talked about and previously, at some point, how it's going to work and so on, debate has been farms, real farms, livestock, stuff like that. But that would need to be introduced into an upkeep system. So you see, we need to have both in order for them to work. So you need to have some farmers that grow crops, grow livestock, so you can have a clan full of 150 people, e.g.
And then we have to have an alignment system in order to
etc.
not be going in and destroy the crops with one click.
Yes.
So you see how these things.
And what about alignment system? When do you think it will be ready?
Actually, right now we do have a design that we've given to the devs, the coders, I mean.
And it will be introduce racial.
I mean racial factions. No, it's not
It's
racial.
not going to be tied to races.
No, it's going to be.
It's not like the DF1 system.
No.
All right. No, it's not. Okay. And how it will work like Darkfall 1 or?
It's going to be a bit more complicated than the old system. The basic mechanisms are that you're going to have consequences when you're red, when you're bad, but you're also going to have unique abilities regarding the other red players. I mean, the idea is if you're going to go bad, go full bad to enjoy any benefit the lawless life might give you. And if you're going to go blue, go full blue in order to reap the other benefits as well.
or stay grey.
Yeah, you can also stay grey because
That's a really profitable situation.
we're thinking about currently introducing trade and market limitations between blue and red guys. So you're going to need an intermediary and a neutral guys, grey guys, to make part of the economy work, or certain aspects of the economy work. There are basically 3 things about the alignment currently as designed. One is the actual flagging mechanism. I mean, how you're going to get an alignment hit, either upwards or downwards, towards blue or towards red. The other is that we're looking into tying alignment into the areas of influence, into the map. So there are going to be unholy areas and holy areas. And you're going to have different effects depending on your alignment and where you stand in each area. And the third one is the actual benefits and disadvantages that each level of alignment is going to apply to your level, as well as the fact that mainly the mechanic is going to be like you're going to go bad really easy towards the red alignment, and you're going to go blue much harder.
All right. Okay. Chaos Furia is asking, we have answered this. Population situation in Europe server is pretty bad at the moment. NA is always much better. What kind of actions, promotions? I think will Aventuring do to bring back all the big clans who has left the game, like Sun, Lux, TFK, Zagenda, considering that economy armor patches will fix the competition and things to do problem? Τα ίδια περίπου.
I think we discussed this already.
All right. Mormo, okay. Hadron Collider. Any plans to make dwarfs return?
I think we talked about the models in the previous question. We can't make an exception for dwarves specifically.
Well,
Yes.
No, I think
Yes,
we are
please
going
do.
well.
But we have not discussed this and how it is.
No, what?
Μην πεις κάτι και μετά.
No. What?
If,
Yeah.
well,
You want me to say it?
no,
You
I
want me
wanna
to say it? No, don't.
well,
Say,
the dwarves-
say.
right now, and through the quests, return of the dwarves might be eventually up to the players.
What?
He said
It's
that
not
the-
gonna happen right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can hear what I said there.
Okay,
Later.
I will.
It's going to. Some stuff are going to be based on the outcome of certain quests,
All right.
on the general outcome
I've said.
of certain quests.
No need to say more.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Expire.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to know, well, other things have been asked already, is if Aventuring plans on changing the siege territory control meta game to make it more fluid.
We answered that.
with the
All
Dominion
right.
question.
Yes.
It does involve changes, in how you capture stuff, how you challenge, how you do sieges, but that's going to go into one.
Another thing, when
One package.
do we expect alignment system more or less?
That's up to the devs actually. And,
I think it's about a good estimation will be around in 2 months' time.
2 months.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
2 months you will start making it, or
No,
2
no, no,
months
no.
will be
Now,
ready?
we have started them
Oh,
now.
it's
So in 2 months, we're
okay,
going to
okay.
Basically, right now we are the evaluation stage of the design from the developers. Yeah, the coders. Sorry,
Mhm.
yeah, the programmers.
So what's in general the timeline now? This
This
patch?
is combat patch. The next will be economy and something and gear.
Recipes, stuff like
Recipes,
that, and distribution of materials. And,
Inventory?
And the inventory, yes. It's
the inventory is going to be
Free trial?
No.
I'm not sure about
No.
the free trials. No,
As I said,
No.
the free trial will be there when we.
we want to make alignment a thing before
Yeah.
we actually.
Okay. So first alignment and then free trial. Very
Or
good.
possibly together.
Yeah,
Quests?
but possibly together.
Uh,
At least the first bunch.
I
You
think,
need
yeah.
to know that the first bunch of quests will be limited.
All right.
For a
But,
quest system, we also need alignment.
Yes, but in order to
Because the
introduce
quest
that,
gets
yes.
you out in the world, and if you are a new player, you're gonna get slaughtered.
So everything is tied
So-
together.
All right. So let's say everything the next 3-4 months.
what do you mean everything?
Everything we said now, enchanting, trial, free trial, and alignment the next 3-4 months.
Well, enchanting is the next patch.
All right.
Alignment along with quests and free trials is probably after that.
Okay.
And then we have other stuff as well, but that's the basic goals that we need to
All right.
get to.
Yeah.
King Dalak asking for promotion. Legio Victrix and Seldin Yerma want about enchanting. We told ETA on R70 armors.
The thing is that armors as they are right now in the game will change. Numbers will change, crafting recipes will change, what they do will probably change. We're not planning to add new armors right now, though we have some of them waiting.
Is the guy asking for art for a new
For
model?
new models, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the question.
We don't have that in the pipeline. For new art on the armors.
That specific gear thing is halfway there, I think.
Yeah.
So it's depending on what.
Depends. It's not on the priority.
No, it's not a priority. But depending on our time, maybe we could make time for that with the next patch, not this patch. The patch.
All right.
The enchanting. What?
Racial models. The screaming and grunting noise is back.
Yeah, that's for you.
Under
that's for us.
the log, under the log asking.
We've answered that in the forums.
Well,
We're planning to change the voices for every race, so they have their unique voice, male, female. That's
He wants me to do them retain.
okay.
yeah, you should hear him. So this is tied to that, but we don't really know when this is happening because it was asked before. Again, I've said some months ago that this is indeed in the pipeline, but I can't give an ETA.
I mean, I think a more relevant sound question would be about different sounds depending on damage and arrows, projectiles.
You should ask,
I should ask
the programmers about that.
I know.
I don't like the staff bolts.
Yeah, no,
it's terrible.
It's
Terrible.
it's a bit of an engine thing. It requires some work. Not the sounds. That's
Lots
just
of work.
No, that sounds, yeah, we
It's
can change it.
the screams and that. It's all about.
it's very bad, that one.
Staff
Nah.
The impact.
By the way, did anyone realize the relic acquisition thing was Silverhawks? No?
No, I didn't put it in after all.
No, we didn't?
No.
Oh, fine. We should have. Anyhow. Okay.
Cosmos, what are I think you answered this, but anyway, what are your full plans to address the economy's current and long-standing issues? How do you plan to drive conflict around certain resources and areas of the map? Can you elaborate on how you plan to change crafting recipes and what new materials you will be introducing into the game?
First of all, we want to use existing materials that are near crap.
Yeah.
Okay. Stuff like, okay,
Rust.
I got thousands of, rust.
Stone.
What did I do with it?
Stone.
Yeah, stone, for instance, as well. We do have a system in place for byproducts in between recipes. So we're looking into having at least 2 different usages for each byproduct between recipes that can be used in other skills. So you're going to need a byproduct from alchemy that's going to be used into engineering, and you're going to need a byproduct from engineering that's going to be used into article smithing, and so on and so on. And especially about new materials, we're going to, as I said earlier, we're going to try and add them to stuff that already exists in game, but it's not craftable. Including foods and potions, we're going to make them more worthwhile, make them more important, in a sense, make the recipes more costly. And we're also looking into ways, we haven't talked
Making the recipes more costly it's not really true.
not more costly, more varied, and more more focused on what you're going to use. I mean, for instance, right now, whatever major potion you use, it's basically all down to health and regeneration. All the other potions are going to waste because, for instance, there are no skills that use the specific kind of damage for which the potion is the remedy for.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, that's a gaping hole in the crafting and the recipes of potions. Food also could use a lot of love. We're going to do that as well. And a step beyond, not this patch, the crafting and enchanting patch, but somehow, somewhere along the way, we need to talk about how we're going to implement upkeep into a resource that's going to be like, you know, energy. Something that would need to keep flowing, something that would need to keep connecting your keeps in order to use the buildings and get the benefits. Something that, you know, like power.
All right.
That could be, you know, oil. That could be some other kind of resource that you'd need to secure its source and secure the in-between lines of transmitting it.
All right. I got some questions I forgot from my clan, Bad Company.
I want to see the question, the last question again. Did we fully answer that?
About sounds and screens.
Materials.
New materials introducing
about
into the game.
Resources of the area of the map. Yeah, materials will be highly localized, especially the new enchant materials. The change on the crafting recipes. What new materials will be introduced in the game? I think we can say about a few things about how enchanting will work. Since when do we patch? We patch tomorrow.
No, we don't patch tomorrow.
What about
Thursday.
No. Δεν θα μπει.
First of all, people don't need to get anxious about, you know, the patch dates, okay? When we're going to be able to patch, we're going to say,
Εύκολα να το λες.
we're patching. Okay, we're patching on that day because we're ready to patch on that day. We said late month, by February.
Okay.
We're probably going to make it. That's it.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, about again.
I don't think we should go into details about how the enchanting will work.
No, because it's going to create speculation. But the thing is,
a lot of new materials are coming.
Yeah.
New material.
And not only the actual enchanting materials.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the most skilled player of Darkfall at the adventuring?
Katsu?
It's debatable.
Katsu.
Katsu.
Well, for sure, the QA guys are the most experienced here because they test the balance, the combat styles, and everything.
All right.
That's one thing for
I
sure.
would say Katsu.
Yeah. I bet on Katsu.
It's debatable.
I would say Katsu as well.
So we'll let you later in the day.
Okay.
We'll make
Look, everyone
quick
from
match.
QA is the best in here.
Okay.
So let's leave it there.
No, it's not you.
No, you're not the one.
Get over it. It's not you.
Many liver best asking about the general theme of or style of the upcoming schools. They want to know what is happening with the 3 schools.
Yeah.
Many questions
Okay.
about the 3 new schools. What will be the theme,
champion
style, and
Yeah, we asked that to the forums too. So right now we're not considering new schools.
We're not touching the
We're
skills
not touching
yet.
the skills before we change the skills. And the new philosophy, since we've opened up the roles, will not be in. We won't be thinking in schools and.
Yeah, e.g., we are going to add more schools like that. It's more probably we're going to add, you know, a skill from each school in quotes, rather than adding 5 skills from one type.
all right.
We're starting thinking about the actual, mechanics of the skills, and we will be categorizing them depending on what they do, and that's how you know what you're really choosing, because
So-
the new player doesn't know what
Are you
school
going
have,
to add some stealth spells like invisibility
no comment.
or no comment?
No problem.
I mean,
Not
Yeah,
for now.
I
not for
see.
now.
All right.
The thing is that we don't have anything ready to go.
All right. So
about
we
that
don't
at
say
this
nothing.
point.
Okay. Additional Celentin shop ideas. Are you working on any skin teasers? I need to say here something that I have many Celentin to support adventuring mostly. I didn't like at all the first masks, the first 5 or 6 masks. I think they are horrible. I don't wear them and I don't like them.
Steve is going to cry.
Who's Steve?
Don't say that. The art guy.
Well, it's the truth, but I loved very much.
I need to make it clear now because Acid doesn't get the joke. There was at some patch, I can't remember now which one. There was a post that said thanks to Steve, the art guy. Okay, because you know art takes so long. It's probably one guy, but it's not one guy. They do have a lot of work with their hands. Okay?
All right.
And yeah.
And I want to. I loved the Halloween masks. I love the Christmas stuff. So, are you going to implement some new skins
stuff,
or?
We have some stuff. I think 2 items for the patch.
No, they're not ready.
They're not ready.
The thing is,
Yeah.
we do have ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We mostly want to introduce them either with more content. We don't want to, from now, because there has been a discussion about placing more and more items in the shop and not doing content patches. Mainly this happened because, you know, there was the Halloween event, something we all want to play and have fun, the Christmas event.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to focus on adding more shop items with more content as well. So we are going to balance it a bit. We don't want to add only patches with
We had
shop items.
two shop items in the pipeline, but as the guys say here, we're not going to put them in this patch.
All right.
But I don't think that it needs too much work. I think
No, it's not much work. It's
so
actually
in the 2 subsequent weeks, in 2 weeks' time, we
Yeah.
we may do an intermediate patch.
Yeah,
smaller
the
patch
thing is
to
that
release them.
shop items are not the primary concern for art.
No, okay.
And it's something that goes in parallel with the
I
art.
mean, specifically fluff, all right, because other kinds of Silentine items or utility like the regressor and so on, we have various ideas about that, but we're not focusing on that at this moment.
Okay. Livicor asks, are there any plans to change asset damage, how asset damage works, costs? And is there any change for NPC guards?
How asset damage works?
Mm-hmm.
In buildings, etc.
I mean the pools,
Zero.
I think you
the
mentioned about
skill, what?
Are there any
it's about
plans
the
to change?
buildings, how they're damaged. That's the question.
Well,
What does that?
what we talked about structures, buildings, holdings and clans, we want to add the option for clans to, you know, customize their infrastructure, their buildings. So they could add the various protections, but code-wise, we need work on that. It's
Right.
not just, you know, different art or different settings and so on. We need to somehow, you know, disengage the current system
Okay.
as it is.
My clan is asking about dark.
I think there was another thing about
The NPC
the
guards.
NPC guards. We've done some experiments on that, didn't we?
We discussed about the possibilities of new mechanisms for protecting the holdings.
We had a mechanism in place that was a bit like that.
I think we should say that for now,
For now, it's not a target because
not in the pipeline.
it involves a lot of coding.
All right.
But we know that we should add variety in how holdings are guarded.
I mean, it would be easier to add more types of towers than adding NPC guards, for instance.
Okay. But the company asks about clan banks. They would like to have more levels of clan banking, so that the clan leader can decide.
More rights, more administrative rights. Yeah, that's.
And it would be very comfortable for new players to have, for example, level 4, the cheapest.
I think this should be implemented.
This is very, it's very important to make.
There is
They are writing it down.
Αυτό το έχουμε συζητήσει με τον
Ναι,
Τζον.
ναι.
We talked about that with.
We have various designs about that, yes.
It's not just the design, so also it's part of that work. I think John Masters.
Because, for example, we get new players and we would like for them to have certain access to a level
We know the problem,
plus
yes.
to put
Part of the regional banking design that has already been done, as well as I think it's in inventory. It's in the inventory.
Inventory, yes.
Covers that specific
yes,
aspect.
I think it's a good
And we need to have some bit of a meeting with the coders about that, but it needs to be squeezed in, and it might get squeezed in.
all right. You can get some feedback from the community.
No, we know that it's lacking.
Yeah,
We know that it
it's-
needs to be added. It's just that we need to find.
And they were asking about new items and mostly new weapons. If you want ballistas and new, I was thinking of a weapon that has some kind of energy that feels from making daily activity. That was my idea from some kind of cool weapon.
Cithra.
Eh?
A Cithra.
So,
From Darkfall 1.
yeah, something like that that gets energy that or I don't know souls
Yeah.
and yeah, and the souls can be taken by killing.
Sounds like a quest item for me.
Yeah, quest.
Anyhow, we want to revisit that.
And tabards.
tabards, titles, ranks, and stuff like that.
Yes, clan titles.
Yeah.
Tabards, ναι. Οπωσδήποτε. Personalization, clan personalization, tabards.
How would you feel about flags? Yes, that's what I wanted to ask.
They want flags, they want tabards, they want banners, they want the possibility to personalize our look and be our look connected with the clan.
You have to realize that such things require more art, and the more artistic things we have.
We're also thinking about. It's a bit early to comment on these kinds of systems. I mean, titles, ranks, and so on. Okay, we want to tie them to the siege meta, the clan meta, politics, diplomacy, that thing. It could come earlier, it could come in later. But tabards, flags, stuff like that, we'll need to talk about that. But we're probably going to weigh into for your, for the upload your own solution. It's more.
Make your own picture and upload it.
It's probably more.
Sandboxing.
It's more sandboxing. That's one, and it's also less costly, maybe to us, in terms of development time, to establish a framework where you can upload your own clan, tabard, and then have it displayed on the various surfaces, characters.
All right. And about new weapons?
But new weapons specifically with
ballistas or some.
Not siege weapons.
No. Character
lances.
Or the possibility to use archery mounted.
Yeah, that's because he said right now javelin. I thought about lances, and now we're saying about archery, and actually we're talking about mounted combat. This will be addressed on its own. Mounted combat will be, when we address it in let's say 100%, yes, we will make skills that will actually unlock your skills from a mount. So you can use certain skills while mounted. But that's not in the pipeline right now.
Okay.
As for the weapons in general, again, right now.
Not right now.
We're concentrated on enchanting, rebalancing everything we already have in the game.
So we don't have any new weapons
in the pipeline. No. We need to, to rebalance everything we have, make it work with enchanting,
and then leave room for
yes.
new gear, new kinds of gear. part of the rebalancing, a major part of the rebalancing is exactly that, leaving enough room for new stuff.
Do you plan a better tier gear in the future?
I mean, like rank
10?
A better rank?
I mean, like rank 100, etc.
Right now, no, but enchanting will give you that chance, let's say, that opportunity to
Plus,
do that. Yeah.
plus the customization you might want.
Okay. Aerozoom Monster AI, is it being reevaluated? You already said that monsters
AI.
I didn't talk about the monster AI. I talked about
Alright.
monster.
Any progress? Did the
risk.
search go well for hiring AI programmers?
Well, people want to join as AI programmers.
Or if they can send their CVs.
Yeah.
If anyone that
No, seriously,
wants to,
send your CV.
Send your CVs.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think it's support at adventure.gr.
No, jobs on Adventure.
Jobs at adventure.gr. Send
Okay.
your CVs.
We are
Now,
aware of the problem though. Actually.
To be fair, we haven't fully explored what we can do with our existing arsenal
Alright.
of AI without adding a lot of modifications. But in general, the main problem is that we need to make time for AI as well.
Yeah.
But at this point,
No, not at this point. Doesn't really fit into
yeah, it
our-
doesn't fit in. That's the
doesn't
thing.
fit in because the other things are priority.
I mean, we can tweak monster values and damages so that we can make them more risky. Okay, they're still going to be a little bit boring depending on the damage and the skill and the AI they use and so on. I'm not talking about bugs. Bugs, yeah, we should, we can try and fix what we can fix easily. But to truly, make AI more immersive, we need to focus specifically on
Alright,
for
another
AI.
question is...
is interchangeable armor for all 10-5 pieces ever going to be a thing?
Yes.
As yes. The
Yes.
simple
Yes.
question to that answer is yes.
Yes.
But first we need to rebalance the 10-5 pieces thing.
And what is your plan to steer people from people using armor combos like 8-piece Dread,
Rebalancing all the
2-piece
armors
Imperius?
and what exactly they do.
Alright.
I want to be more specific on that. Okay. The chance is that if you're going to swap one piece for another, it's going also to give you some kind of drawback, not just bonuses.
And,
So you'll need to weigh in exactly what you're going to wear. Also, you're not going to get best fit because we're going to introduce set bonuses.
yeah, that's the next thing I want to say.
So
That no one asked about.
Yeah.
Full set of armor will give you bonus.
Alright. What about boosters? Are you going to remove? Remove,
completely remove.
Remove the limitations.
Wow.
Boosters.
Alright. Are you even going
You,
to...
I do need,
Boosters and,
we need
and gear, gear,
gear
prerequisites.
gear prerequisites, but we're going to increase the cost of the statistics associated with boosters.
Okay. Are you ever going to fix the underwater aiming bug? You know where the shot goes far left to the crosshair.
This is not an underwater bug. This is a third person
Camera.
aiming problem. It's a camera problem with aiming in third person, where you see the dot in the middle of the screen,
Yeah.
but the actual aim is off the dot.
Yeah.
So we had a solution about that.
We need to get some manpower and time to implement it.
We know what's wrong and
We know what's wrong
will-
and we're going
we're going
to
to
fix
fix
it.
it.
Not this part, maybe next.
Definitely, most probably next month, yes.
So,
this third person camera thing will fix
last
also
last question, but not least, any news about casual players? Some good news about casual players and solo players.
Personally, for the
AI.
what we are discussing the last few days on our weekends is to introduce an arena type system with sort of teams and franchises, where the player can go in and just do PvP, for example, and stuff like that. A sort of championship, like NFL, for example. So the players that are casuals and that want to engage in PvP, but they are not interested in other aspects of the game, they can go in and find their friends and be able to.
Okay.
But these are only ideas.
All right. Are you going to introduce something like learning system for new players?
You mean like the advisory?
To learn PvP, something like I don't know,
A training area.
train area or something. And another question about new players: in case you introduce an alignment, you will keep a safe zone for new players, or it will be all.
The current implementation, the current design, for alignment is going to be only within city walls, the current city walls of
NPC city.
safe zones.
Yeah.
I mean, in the human lands, only the area
Inside
within the walls.
somewhere inside the
Inside
Θα μείνουν δηλαδή τα safe zone.
Only inside
when
walls.
you're
All
inside.
inside the walls.
Only inside the
Only
walls.
inside walls. Okay.
Of the city.
Yeah.
As soon as you step out of the wall,
You are.
you are in a danger zone.
That's okay.
And we're also thinking about mini sanctuaries like 10, 15 meters wide.
Well, let's say specific buildings
Yeah.
might be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, all those churches that are lying around, those cemeteries, stuff like
And
that.
about solo players?
You mean how will specifically a solo player fit in with all this thing inside Darkfall and so on?
And another
Well,
thing, solo players and the small clans, because
Now,
there are
you want to talk about chaos cities now, right?
about.
No,
Is
he's
that
not.
what you're asking about?
He's not asking about chaos cities. I know what he's asking about.
Well, if you want to talk about Chaos Cities,
The idea is that the more we tie in investment of prowess in skills and in certain areas of the game, the more we add skills that have nothing to do with combat but enable or disable aspects of the gameplay or the economy for other players. E.g., some guy, it was a nice idea, talked about adding teleportation, the skill, as a skill that you need to purchase, buy, and so on, and use with different effects, different costs. We do want to expand on that, on all aspects, on all skills that are non-combat.
You might see skills introduced that weren't there, but change things that are already there.
And we believe that via that means, making skills matter, costly, prowess, people will need to choose, make the effort to choose and select their role. So there will be a capacity for the solo or the small clan player to have a niche as a small mercenary, or a small trader, a small transport
There will be a lot
guy.
of smaller roles to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think for an MMO to survive, there is much need for the small clans to be able
For
to.
the small classes, we plan to have
Because with the mastery patch, all the clans that don't have a city now can't harvest, and they need to be zergs. That's for me, or they need to be recruited in another bigger clan. So for me,
That's a side effect of trade not working, because there are a variety of reasons that trade is not working as it should have been.
And another thing, as we are going to localize the resources, a clan will not be able to zerg everything and get everything. At
That's with instant travel, basically.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the distant travel and the localization of resources. So now the small clans will have a better chance to capture a holding.
Also-
Get the bonuses from that. And they will be much more viable than it is now, because right now the big clans can dominate very easily.
and they absorb all the small ones,
Yes.
and so.
And we have to change that.
And
Situation.
speaking of clans, what do you intend to do with the bros, clan bros, and the fact that there are many inactive clans and showing in the list?
Well, a quick solution.
Or the one solo, the one player clan?
Yeah. The one thing solution that comes to mind is to change the sorting. So at the top you see the more active clans.
It's going to be first. The easy solution is the UI change. Okay, we can have an inactive flag and display that, and people will be able to by default see the active clans and choose from then on. But what we talked about, the siege meta, politics, diplomacy, and so on, that also touches on how you form and disband clans. And the cost associated with forming and disbanding.
And of course, there's a solution that if a clan is being inactive for a long period of time, then it ceases to exist.
All right.
We have to think about this though.
No, I'm just saying
Yes.
that there is also this solution.
Do you plan to introduce more world bosses and last question?
I think I saw that as well in the forums.
For the time being, no.
For the time being, no. But there has been some work put on various PvE elements that we might find the time to complete and add as completely new mobs or as upgrades to
If we have
to existing spawns.
the plan, if we actually formulate a plan about putting them in, the community will learn about this.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be decided that at this time we're going to put this.
Yeah.
So we're going to inform the community about if we're going to do this or not.
I think some of the artwork that has been circulating around is not, at random, at chance. There has been some work put into that, and with some further art, we could add some of those.
All right. Thank you very, very much. You were very kind.
Thank you
And
very much for
again-
your input. Very valuable. And thanks for all the clan members and all the people
question,
that
yeah.
took time to formulate these questions. We are very thankful for this
Okay.
effort, for everyone involved.
All right.
For their support.
And even for those that don't support what we're trying to do, we do value their passion.
Yep.
We like to be called retarded.
Right. Thank you very much.